was not we did not have the celebration in the state of Oklahoma that I was looking for.
No.
Sooners lose, Cowboys lose. Utah goes to Stillwater and wins 22-19. Kind of a misleading final score, in my opinion, but pretty impressive from Utah considering they didn't have Cam Rising. Going on the road without your starting quarterback, getting it done with the freshman, that's impressive.
Yep. Yep. Um, it is impressive. That game was, I can't even imagine how brutally hot that football game had to have been on that turf in the sun. Utah was just from the pieces that I watched, they were just the more solid football team. They made a handful more plays. It wasn't anything super explosive, but it just felt like they were pretty methodical in what they did. Took what Oklahoma State gave them, hit on a couple of nice plays, and did a really good job keeping Oklahoma State in check.
It What happened in Stillwater, there are a lot of similarities between that game and what happened in Norman. I I thought OSU's defense, yeah, they gave up some big chunk plays. They always give up some big chunk plays, but Bernard had a couple big runs. Isaac Wilson had some big plays with his legs as well, but overall they did their job. Held them to 22, forced three turnovers. I mean, what else could you ask for
Right.
if you're Oklahoma State? I thought that, and they ended up making it interesting late, but Oklahoma State's offense let them down. Only 42 yards rushing for Ollie Gordon. They continue to struggle to get him going. The offensive line is not performing. And then, I mean, Alan Bowman was playing so poorly in this game. Gunny pulled him and he said, "Hey, I pulled him to try to calm him down." I mean, they put Garrett Rangel out there on the field.
Yeah.
That's how bad Bowman was. Now that I think about it, there are a lot of similarities between this game and what happened to Norman.
Yeah.
Now they brought Bowman back in, but it was, I mean, the way I saw it was Oklahoma State's defense played well enough to win, and Oklahoma State's offense did not hold up their end of the bargain.
Yeah. I've been surprised that it's, well, we knew that people were going to really focus on Ollie Gordon, make Oklahoma State beat them in the passing game. But, whenever you've got that experienced offensive line coming back, I mean, I don't think there's a bunch of top draft picks on that line by any means, but, I thought that they would be able to scheme some things up and be solid enough to let Ollie Gordon get into some one-on-ones where he would go in and be able to get rolling. And it's been hard, man. They haven't got him going at all yet.
Credit to Isaac Wilson. And now he made some bad decisions. He's a freshman quarterback. Of course, he made some bad decisions in a big time road environment, in a big time game, but he also made some big throws, made some huge plays with his legs. And I thought he did. I thought he was the best quarterback in the football game. I don't even think that's debatable. But this is a tough one for Oklahoma State. No Cam Rising for Utah, and the search to get Ollie Gordon going continues. That feels like a loss that is going to be very significant down the line in the Big 12 race.
Yeah. Now, they got K State next, right? In Manhattan. Man.
We'll get to that in winners and losers. Smacked him, man. Smacked him. I We'll get to it. Other game we want to hit, USC and Michigan engaged in just a Big Ten battle.
Mm-hmm.
The Michigan Wolverines end up winning it 27-24. Type of situation you live for if you're an offensive lineman. Fourth and goal from the 1.5 yard line, 40 seconds to go in the game. You get in six offensive linemen, two tight ends, and you put a fullback on the field. Let's go.
Do what we do.
Run it right at him. Just erotic to watch. And Kalel Mullings punches it in. Wolverines win. And there were so many things in this game, Ted, but hey, it came down to that one play, and Michigan did what it does.
Yeah.
Our football, here we are. Stop it. And USC couldn't.
Hey, um, credit Michigan. They what jumped out to a nice lead. USC comes back on them, takes the lead on them, right? And they kept battling. That was a good football game. USC has made. I know they dropped the game, but they've made some large strides on the line of scrimmage.
Agreed. Now, their offensive line, they had to make some changes because it was going so poorly. Miller Moss was getting destroyed throughout this football game. But Michigan, Will Johnson, another pick six. The guy is just a walking pick six. But it was weird. Like they had this massive play, pick six, and then they kind of it felt like they tried to give the game away after that. I mean, there was the bizarre sequence, the fumble recovery from Kenneth Grant, who is an excellent player, but then Marks, the running back from USC, like goes and just steals the ball from him. Like it was bizarre. It's a hell of a play by Marks, but you don't see that very often. And my gosh, is Grant going to get clowned in the film room since
Yeah,
they won? But
big difference. Yeah, with a win and a loss on how that play gets treated.
but you had that. You had they just completely bust. You have two guys both thinking that they're blitzing off the edge. No one covers the wide receivers. The easiest passing touchdown you'll ever see. Donovan Edwards fumbles, give up a passing touchdown from the 24 on like 3rd and 16. I mean, it was mistake after mistake after mistake for Michigan there, but Mullings was that guy on the last drive of the game.
Ooh,
Rips
some of
off
those
the
runs were.
big run. Former linebacker, Ted, you got to love that.
Oh yeah. Hey, he's like? I think he's like 6'3", 220, something like that. Maybe bigger than that, 230.
Looks solid.
Looks like a big time player, and he fits what they do. Man, they pour it downhill and a bunch of stuff. Those big power runs, those big gap scheme runs. Um, it's not. I. It doesn't just blow your doors off, but it's effective. Whenever they're winning on the line of scrimmage, and you can run power for 4, 5, 6 yards on first down. It helps you out, sets you up offensively in a nice way.
USC's defense, they're going to be sick when they watch that tape. The difference in the game, I thought, was the long chunk runs, right? Couple big long touchdown runs for Mullings and for Donovan Edwards, and then the huge run on the last drive of the game for Mullings. And it just looked to me, it just looked like misfits
Yeah.
at the linebacker position where you got a defensive lineman and a linebacker in the same gap. That's going to be painful to watch. But also USC just they had no balance offensively. The plan couldn't have been to come in and have Miller Moss throw it 50 plus times. They credit to Michigan's defense, who, despite what Texas did to them, Michigan's defense is still very good. And other than one long run for Woody Marks, Michigan's defense did a great job of just controlling the line of scrimmage. USC could not run the ball and had no balance, and that allowed them to tee off for the most part on Miller Moss.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to see if Michigan can get their offense, if they can get their offense clicking a little bit better and some down the field stuff as the season wears on. I think they can bounce back and be really dangerous. Their defense is really good. Um, so if they can get some things going, solidify that quarterback position a little bit, um, stop shooting themselves in the foot. Like they've had some big lack of execution. The same thing in the Texas game, turnovers, stuff like that have really killed them. If they can solidify that, they're still gonna be a dangerous football team.
I think they found their style. I think that's safe to say. Wondering what it was going to look like with Alex Orji. at quarterback instead of Davis Warren. What'd he throw it? 10 times, 12 times?
Yeah, that suits them a little bit
And that
better.
was probably five or six too many.
Yeah,
They are, they are, I think they're going to stick to that formula the rest of the way. It's not the sexiest way to play football, but you got to know your personnel and set that group up for success. Not a fun time to play wide receiver at Michigan, by the way.
no,
Can't be
it,
enjoyable. Not what you're
it,
looking for as a wide receiver, but uh, Sharon Moore's job is to put his team in the best position to win. And I bet they're just going to run that rock the rest of the year.
yeah.
They can't beat Ohio State playing that way, though. You
I
have to be
still
able
have.
to score point. They just,
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to. Could end up being wrong, but
Ohio State's defense is pretty stout, so they would have to just be lights out defensively to pull them into their type of game and win. Possible, I guess. We'll
so
see.
it's a ways off. A lot of football to be
Mhm.
played between now